Kazuya. Like, you gotta keep it real. No matter how good a matchup is against Kazuya, you still have to worry.
Right.
You could have the greatest matchup in the world, and you could still kind of get thrown over at some points.
That's true. Definitely things that you have to worry about in any situation. Even if you're up a stock, you might not know the vibes against this character. We have Dany versus Skeleton. These two have never played before. Dany has some pretty good Kazuya experience, like across various different Kazuyas, but one of them that probably the best Kazuya that he's played against is Wilds, and he's 1-6 against Wilds. Not a great record against other high-level Kazuyas either, but hasn't played Skeleton, and every Kazuya plays neutral a little bit differently.
Absolutely, and I'm not quite sure how Skeleton plays, but I know some of them are more fishing for electric is what some of them do. A lot of them also use crouch dash to kind of move around and get the movement. Dany off to a pretty solid lead here, though, right at the start. Not quite letting Skeleton get in and getting those electrics that he wants.
It's true, and I want to say that a lot of the games that Dany and Wilds have played together have been pretty close.
But like I mentioned earlier, it is Kazuya. No matter how good your matchup is, no matter how good you play, all it takes is one interaction, and things could turn pretty quickly.
Literally one electric Wind Godfist to take that stock, and here's another one off of the grab. Not quite Ferps tech, but still missing it all the same.
But it is a good 35%, so giving Skeleton some extra credit to work with here before he almost died there.
Yeah. Late dash attack sending it far out, but we do have Rage Drive available. You can see he's going to want to rip it the second that Dany uses a falling aerial, which is why he's playing so far back and just circle camping, hoping that it will time out.
And Danny's playing really well, trying to bait it out too, so he can get like a huge punish on it, but he actually gets rid of it, so now doesn't have to worry about that one too much anymore.
Nope, but you got to worry about,
I thought he was going to up smash.
Yeah, honestly a little bit surprised. Didn't wind up getting the spike hitbox down.
Yeah, it might have been a DI thing, I think. Dash attack almost killing there, and up tilt takes the kill. That up tilt is deceptively strong as a kill move.
And as an anti-air too.
That
angle, it's so far above Wolf's hitbox, or his hurtbox, that you don't expect him to be able to hit that high up without using an aerial.
Dany with a little custom combo there, not quite converting off of the reflector though.
I love a shine combo.
They're so cool.
Charlie would be proud.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. For the Smash community, he's not dead. Anyways, 97% on Dany is absolutely kill percent. All it will take is one Wind Godfist. And in the corner, it's going to be tough. How do you get out?
Yeah, getting the good jab there, sending Dany off stage, just keeping him in that position. Gets a, I think that's stature smash maybe, or I don't know what the back down tilt move is.
Yeah.
Gets the laser.
Sniped.
From
quite a distance. Now, Skeleton has never played a Wolf as good as Dany, but he seems like he's playing a pretty linear game plan all the same.
Yeah, and I think Wolf is one of the characters that you can play, not linearly, but the fundamentals against, because Wolf relies so much on the fundamentals of Smash that you don't have to worry about some of these shenanigans that you do in other matchups. And so I think that benefits Kazuya and Skeleton especially, because Skeleton can go for these electrics, go for these combos, and not have to worry about frame 1 escape options or like crazy DI mix-ups.
You do still have a frame 2 air dodge, but for the most part, Kazuya's combos are not, that tight. Okay.
Nice electric up B, not quite killing, it was very close though. Ripping an up smash, and that's going to do it for him.
Yeah, looking as clear as ice right there. Just normal combos, normal game plan, as expected, on what ultimately is probably Wolf's best stage in this matchup.
Yeah, I can imagine that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really see a better place to go at this point, and you can see they're just going to run it right back.
PS2, the class. I'm a PS2 hater.
That's, you know what? I'm glad that you say that. You're one of the only other people in the booth that agrees with me on this. PS2 does not make the best games.
I don't know. No, I'm a small Battlefield player. That's my favorite stage in the game. It's gone to the point where people in my home region, no matter how good it is for them, ban small Battlefield specifically against
That's
me.
Funny. I'm not that diehard, but that's hilarious. It's just this long, wide stage is, it says that it makes the best neutral, but the idea is that it gives the most opportunity for neutral, which is not beneficial to all characters.
And, and pineappling under the stage too.
That too. I hate the angle.
Yeah, it's so... It's so rough.
Yeah, but a small Battlefield, is just, I think, a little bit of every other stage combined while keeping it very centralized.
Now, for PS2, though, I don't imagine either of these characters have to worry too much about pineappling. Wolf has pretty good air drift, I'd say, and a pretty decent up B that he can angle to kind of avoid that.
Right.
And Kazuya's jump and up B just go super high.
2 frame. Misses it.
Not quite. Gets there.
It's really hard to get, especially with the down tilt.
Yeah.
I get that it's fast and all, but it doesn't have any lingering hitbox. At least forward tilt has like 2 frames.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't forward tilt there, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure on that one.
Maybe just wanted to get the angle to make for an easier edge guard.
Yeah, that was a good down tilt.
Yeah.
Dany just kind of staying on the platforms, running away, jumping around, avoiding the electric at all costs, and going for that whiff punish with the back air.
Nice.
Securing that first stock. Dany with a lead seemingly the first time this set. What a combo, though, with the reflector extension onto the platform, but electric up smash almost does him in right away.
Almost. Not quite. The next one will do it, though, and you can see Dany's resetting. Happy to play the corners, happy to play the platforms. Basically anywhere that is more than 5 feet away from Kazuya. Keep that social distance. No tech chase.
No tech chase. Tech rolling out there, I think, was the best option because Skeleton, I think, noticed there Dany wasn't running towards him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been fast enough to catch him with anything other than late dash attack.
Right. Yeah, and then nothing is going to kill at 77%.
Absolutely.
Right? You could run up and down smash, and it's still not going to do it.
Well,
I think.
It is Wolf.
Look, it's been nerfed like 4 times, all right?
It's still
Wolf. It's still good. We have Rage Drive online. He might just rip it for the damage because you can't keep it out long enough unless you find like a cheeky electric right now. And that's on a timer. If you don't find an electric in the next 5 seconds, you got to let it rip.
Gets the electric, doesn't get the follow-up after the nair, but catches the spot with another electric.
There it is.
Doesn't quite finish the combo out. He kind of went off the platform there, so the up tilt electric wouldn't quite have worked.
Yeah, I thought that maybe he was just going to pull the scoop off the tech chase, but instead just goes for the jab. A little bit more reliable as an option select.
And now we're pretty much at an even game. Going for another dash attack. I don't know what the down air was, but I didn't quite work out for him there.
No, not yet. 165. F tilt will kill from center, I think, at this point.
Yeah, about anything will kill. An up smash, back air. Going for the back air, but Kazuya hitbox shifting or electric invulnerability under it. And now Skeleton has lead and Skeleton has rage. Just rips a dash attack.
As sweet as can be on that dash attack. Even stocks, even percentages. On Dany's counterpick stage. I mean, if the issue is if Dany
counterpick
wins,
in quotes because it's PS2.
If Dany wins, though, it would benefit Skeleton to go somewhere else. I just don't know if I don't know if it would.
Exactly. Because I'd imagine Dany's banning FD, Town, probably Kalos, just all the flat stages. So I think because this is the longer stage with a little bit of a bigger gap between the platforms, it's probably the better option for Skeleton here.
It's at least the most comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could go to Hollow Bastion, and in theory, it's stronger for Kazuya than it is for Wolf, but the execution is just so much more difficult.
And if Dany's camping that platform on Hollow like he is here, that could prove to be a little bit of an issue too. But Dany taking this game, evening it up 1-1.
Caught a landing with the down smash, had been conditioning like rising aerials for pretty much every time that Skeleton was in the air, and the one time that he didn't, Skeleton neutral air dodges, and Dany's ready for it.
If you happen to know who's seeded to win this?
Dany.
Okay.
Dany is seeded to win, to go up and play against the winner of Lima versus Dev.
That'll be a fun set.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that one.
Alrighty, getting into game 3, and we are going to switch it up. Town actually wasn't banned.
And I think the reasoning behind that on Dany's part is just Wolf has so many horizontal kill options with F-tilt, down smash, back air especially, that when the platforms are there, like that middle platform, it's so much more advantageous for Dany. We're just going to have to look out for what Dany does once the platforms go away and it just becomes big FD.
With the air speed and aerial acceleration on Wolf as well, having that longer stage allows you to kind of reset neutral a lot easier than, say, like a small battlefield, or not a small battlefield, a Smashville or a Hollow Bastion would. So I also could see him having banned those stages, leaving the longer stages open.
Yeah.
Kalos, I think is a ban, though.
Yeah, Kalos, I think, is a for sure ban.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit of a lead started here. Tech chase? No, a little bit slow to the draw. Doesn't go for the jab block. It is just going for a hard neutral or tech in to read.
I think if he might have done that a little faster, it would have worked on the no tech, but I'm not...
I think he was just expecting a tech.
I think he was expecting like a neutral tech or something. He wasn't quite ready for the no tech mix-up. But Dany off to a pretty decent lead here. 75 to 148. Skeleton dies to pretty much about anything, but I think electric up smash might kill, but it is Town, so the blast zones are a little higher.
They are definitely a lot higher. He went for a very risky dash attack on the shield there. And
great back air with punishing that electric.
I thought he was going to be reminiscent of what he was going to be looking for kill options, but Dany does mix it up very nicely.
Here we are with the platforms gone again, and this is in its Skeleton's game at this point.
Yeah.
Dany kind of He goes in for a grab. Grabbing against Kazuya, I've learned, is not the greatest thing you can do just because spot dodging is so strong,
right.
especially if they know you're going to grab. And even then, if you whiff the grab, Kazuya has so many great punish options to go for. Goes for the back air there, kind of recognizing that an up air might not kill and a back air might be better for positioning, putting Dany in the corner here.
And Skeleton is really great at corner pressuring without giving up center.
Absolutely.
Back to stage right here. Dany starts the little combo. Of course, you're not going to go for an edge guard as Wolf. That's way too risky. Just resetting, causing the pressure, trying to force an option off a ledge very quickly. But look at Skeleton.
Skeleton tries to rip that.
Just pressuring. Oh.
Dany with the late dash attack goes for a read on the tech, but doesn't quite get it. What a great back air.
Yeah, went for the double jump rising right here.
No edge guard, just a ledge trap. Goes for the grab, but neutral get up.
Was it a timing or was it a spacing? I couldn't tell.
I think that just beats it. I think just because that's a broken setup. Whenever I play against Kazuya, I stand far enough away that they can't neutral get up and do that to me. It's something you have to look out for. Now, Skeleton did cash it in this early in the set, so Dany is going to know that is an option. So Skeleton's not going to be able to save that, I think, for maybe a game 5, like, super mix-up.
Right.
But I think cashing it in there was the right option because winning the third game, and especially in 1-1, is super important because you guarantee yourself the counter pick for game 5.
Exactly.
And he misses.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that was a misinput or if he was going for a different combo, but he just lets Dany get away scot-free on that one, and that could...
Not for long.
Never mind.
Not for long, yeah.
Not for long.
Alrighty, Skeleton does wind up taking it on his counter pick. Dany, of course, going to send it back to PS2 as long as it's not banned, but I think I just saw Skeleton mouth PS2 as a ban.
Yeah.
So, where is Dany going to go? It's probably small battlefield at this point. Like, I can't imagine anything else is left open.
He's heading up to it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good on Skeleton banning PS2 because Dany was using those platforms so well.
Yeah, and all of the space in the world. Like, Skeleton could pressure, and then if Dany gets one cross-up on Skeleton to get back to center, the amount of time it takes you to force Dany back to the corner on that long stage is just super annoying. So small battlefield, bringing it in a little bit tighter.
But it's a double-edged sword a bit because Kazuya's closer to you now.
That's true.
And when Kazuya's close to you, that means you can get hit by electric.
And that's scary, of course. But you didn't have a better option at this point, so.
Yeah, I don't think there was a better stage you could have gone to. I don't even think Hollow Bastion would have been better, just because Kazuya can do pretty decent under that middle platform.
If you're going to Hollow Bastion or Smashville or something like that, it's because you're confident that as Wolf, you know how to play your game plan anywhere and everywhere, because Dany is practiced like that, and you're relying on Skeleton maybe not
quite knowing what to do in those situations.
Exactly.
Missing some of those tech options on that platform, because I know the Hollow Bastion platform is big enough that sometimes you can tech roll out and escape the side beat, even if they guess right.
Dany the corner.
Even games so far.
Yeah.
That was crazy. A risky forward air. And
oh my God. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. If you just get called out on a falling aerial.
Yeah, Dany's been landing with aerials quite a bit, especially on Skeleton's shield. And so Skeleton having the awareness to go for that was super good on his part.
Intelligent play right there. Great drive available. Still keeping the pressure in the corner here. How long is that going to last, though?
Yeah. Gets the electric, gets the nair, gets another electric. Is he going to go?
Oh, he wanted it.
He wanted it. Yeah. That was a really good idea, though, especially because if he did roll out, he was safe. Like, he didn't lose anything for missing that. Now, in the following after that, he did end up losing his stock. Dany did end up taking that. Yeah,
got a tipper on the F tilt right there just to barely take it off the side. But still, 79%. You have to, I mean, it really doesn't matter what percent you're at.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even really worth talking about. You can die at any percent, but
that's the electric ups on 79.
There's no execution required the higher percent you are, I think, is the thing. If you're at 0%, the execution that it takes for Skeleton to actually kill you is a whole lot higher. So that's the one benefit of being at a lower percent, I guess.
I can imagine that, because you have to do the full combo instead of just the ender.
Exactly. Okay, doesn't
Goes
quite
for the
get
fair
that.
backer. Yeah, doesn't quite get it. Rage Drive is back online.
That's crazy. It was just here.
It does feel like it was just here. Gets it this time.
Says you haven't been hitting these decks, and it's been messing me up. Sorry, production. Anyways, back to it. Last stock, game 4, potentially Skeleton or Dany's winner side stock right now.
And Skeleton making an upset here, as Dany is the higher seed. But
yeah, that could be big.
That could be huge, actually. Dany getting a great combo here. Actually has the lead now.
But for how long? You have to play perfect. You can't just keep going for aggressive options right here. You need to back up. But
that was a great down smash. That was an incredible down smash. He doesn't quite get that. I think Kazuya has good enough magnet hands and also can go into the stage far enough that's not quite going to work. Rage Drive is still online, and I don't know if it might kill, but a couple more percent, and I feel like it would.
Yeah, it's got to be going away here soon, though. It's been online for, I feel like, way too long at this point.
And I think Skeleton's kind of doing those up airs, like trying to put pressure on the platform that Dany's been playing on this whole game. And also I think Skeleton wants Dany to do one of those landing fairs that they've been doing this whole time, or landing nairs. Try and catch another one with that Rage Drive maybe.
Oh, that's bad. You air dodged in. You gave up the entirety of what you had going for you right now. Now you've got to get out of the corner. Using the platforms is, of course, the best way to do that. Now we reset. Play around those platforms. Try to bait Skeleton and going for like a risky up B or something so that you can punish it. But Skeleton's been playing so disciplined.
And so is Dany right now. Dany's playing so well, knowing that he can die to pretty much anything at this point. And having it win, ooh, that was scary. I thought Skeleton was going to rip a Rage Drive there, keep chasing him.
It's about to go away. I mean, you either set
got it, electric.
That's it.
Up B, and is that going to take the set? And that will.
Skeleton finds the upset in a 3-1, making it not look close. I mean, Dany's not a fan of the matchup to begin with. We already talked about his set record versus Wilds, but in his matchup chart, he has it as a losing matchup anyways. It was tough to see. It was a very difficult decision to be made there. I think that you take the risk and you go for a different stage, in my opinion. I think that you get Skeleton out of his comfort zone if you already feel like every game's going really, really tight. But
yeah, and I think the biggest adjustment factor was getting rid of PS2. I think that's really what did it, because I think Dany might not have expected that and was the most used to it. So just getting rid of that. Yeah. Oh, I think he missed. That's
what I'm saying. I couldn't tell if it was spacing or what.
Yeah, but that was a really good idea from Skeleton to just. I don't know if he reacted to the grab or he was going to do it anyways.
Look, he's a Kazuya player.
Yeah,
I'm not.